Hello everyone, in this video I will talk about the main rules of delegating tasks. As practice shows, not all managers are aware of such wonderful strong tools to help your employees achieve their goals faster. Here we go. Point 1. All assignments should only be made in writing. Accordingly, the task must be written in your task manager, in our case LeaderTask. Oral orders do not work, although many people already know about it. I will remind you once again. Two variants are possible. The first variant, when a manager sets a task on LeaderTask himself. He or she writes down the task, adds a description, colors, labels, attaches files, sets deadlines, and assigns it to do an employee. The second option is when an employee receives a task orally. In this case, the employee must write down the task himself. In LeaderTask, this is done by an order. The person in charge gives the task to the leader with the text, "Hey boss, you gave me these tasks. Did I understand you correctly? Then you mean this. I can do it within a certain time frame. I will execute in this way." It is the duty of the executor specifically to make sure that the supervisor's verbal instruction is written down. Then the supervisor approves the tasks. This is very important, and such a tool should be used for competent delegation. Point 2. It is the employee's responsibility to acknowledge receipt of the task. If the supervisor assigns a task to an employee, it appears in the unread section. Then the performed clicks of this task, it becomes read. For example, it was in bold unread and now it is in bold read. It is the employee's responsibility to immediately read the task, ask questions in the task chart, and set deadlines, either agree with the supervisor's deadline or write their own version. This should be done exactly on the first touch of the task. Then it is visible in the unread section, so that these tasks are not simply lost among the others and are not forgotten. If there is no time for the task, it is better not to touch it until you are free, but if you haven't read it, you must follow the recommendation described above. Point 3. The deadline for the task is the responsibility of a performer. Each task must be estimated by the performer in hours, of how long it will take, when it starts and when its deadline. Even the manager himself has indicated the deadline the employee is obliged to determine the deadline himself and either agree with it or propose his own. There must not be orders without deadline in principle. Point 4. If the performer does not meet the deadline, it is necessary to immediately inform the manager. If the performer is reported after the deadline, it is performer's fault. Penalties are imposed for this. The worst thing is if the deadline has passed, the performer has not done anything, and has not even reported it to the supervisor. This is a gross violation. The contractor is required to report deviations from the deadline to the supervisor immediately in advance. In LeaderTask, internal task charts help with this. This is necessary so that the supervisor is aware of how the work is progressing and, if necessary, corrects the tasks and shifts the deadlines. Point 5. Complete the tasks attached with the result. After the task is completed, you must attach to the result text, picture, photo, video, table, audio, and so on to the task, and only after that set the ready for delivery status. Point 6. You can with the problem bring the solution. Everyone must think how to solve this problem. You can't come with a question without a solution. The employees have to look for the solution to problems. Only in this way they will develop and take responsibility for their decision. The employee has to develop all the time. Otherwise, the whole responsibility will be on the manager because we invented everything. Point 7. The employee is responsible for the fact and the result is actually achieved. It often happens that the task seems to be accomplished. The employee completes it, but there is no actual result. For example, order tickets. The task is completed, the tickets are ordered and paid for. You expect that they are already on your desk, but in fact they have just been purchased and you needed to go to collect them, bring them back, print them out, and so on. You have to always control that the task is actually done. Agree that the end result of the job means that we can move on and not wait for everything else. Point 8. The employee will tell you how he or she is going to perform the task. It often happens that when an employee says that he understands the task and is ready to start doing it, but often he or she just wants to leave quickly and then figure out how to do it on the spot. So you have to ask right away how he will do it, what the result will be, and when the result will be. This is a very strong tool for getting the task really done. Point 9. Any project is more than one task. When you get any project, small or large, require the employee to make a plan with a complete breakdown of the timeline and description of the outcome of each task. The person in charge of a project must break down the project in tasks, set deadlines, indicate who will do the tasks, that each deadline is, the cost of the work, and so on. So it will be much easier to keep track of who is doing that. There is bottleneck there to set forces who copes with how. In LeaderTask, this is done very simply. You can create a project, add the right people to it. Responsible people will deal with necessary tasks, and so you will see the full movement of the project. That's it. LeaderTask completely covers this need. You should always remember that even a bad plan is better than no plan. The plan itself is already a motivating factor to get the project done. Then there is a certain checklist, the performer already wants to follow it. This is much easier for him than he was a huge project in his head and does not know how to approach it, what to do. And here there are several tasks to be performed, and they are all clear and understandable. Point 10. Regulations. All these rules should be necessarily written in the internal regulations of the company. As we have already said, verbal instructions do not work. This always applies to the rules described above. You can make it a note in LeaderTask, attach this video or print the document so that all employees can read it. That's it. Thank you for your attention. It will be interesting to hear what you think about this. So leave your comments below the video, as well as give likes. Subscribe to the channel and click on the bell, do not to miss other useful tips. Thanks for watching.